Anyone who's ever owned a pet has probably had a visit or two to a vet. But what is a typical day like for a large animal vet? We've come to a farm in Hampshire to find out. And I'm joined by Matt Dobbs, who is a vet
for
a farm like this. Hello. And also by Sam Martin, dairy farmer. Hello, nice to meet you both. Matt, first of all, what is a typical day like for you on a farm like this?
Well, I suppose the first thing to say, for a farm vet like myself, there is no such thing as a typical day. Traditionally, the farm vet would have been running around the countryside looking after the health and the welfare of all the farm animals that are part of his rounds. This might include attending a cow, calving or a sick cow. But nowadays, the management of dairy farms, the vet gets much more involved at a herd level. So making sure that all the cows in the herd are healthy, making sure they have healthy hooves, healthy feet, healthy udders, and so that they're productive animals as part of the dairy food chain.
So what is a health plan for a herd, and what does it do?
Okay, so a farm health plan is an agreement between the farmer and vet as to how we're going to manage the cows to make sure that they're healthy and that their welfare is cared for. So it covers every topic from how we're going to house the animals, how we're going to feed them, right the way through to any preventative strategies such as vaccinations and ways that we're going to treat and look after our cows.
As a farmer, Sam, do you always accept a vet's health plan for your herd, or do you have some input?
We have a bit of input ourselves, but generally we're after the expertise of the vet. So what the vet says goes, really. In terms of treatments, again, the vet will advise us, and again, we'll do as he asks us to do.
It sounds much more like a partnership that you have with the vet nowadays.
Yeah, very much so. We try and use the vet much more on a planning basis rather than trying to get them to come out to see sick animals and try and prevent the sick animals in the first place, really.
An important role for the vet on farm is to make sure that the medicines are used appropriately in the right cases. So vets will get involved with developing treatment plans as part of the herd health plan to make sure that the medicines are used appropriately for the best possible outcome.
Do you ever give cows antibiotics?
So antibiotics may be part of a treatment plan. They're only obviously used when absolutely necessary, when a cow has got an infection where an antibiotic will help. So for example, an infection in the udder, a case of mastitis, we may need to prescribe a course of antibiotics. But they are obviously carefully monitored as part of that herd health plan.
And when a cow is on antibiotics, are they milked, and is that milk sold?
The cows continue to be milked, but the milk isn't sold.
I've heard of bovine TB, Matt, but how does that affect cows?
Bovine TB is an infectious disease that cows can get, but it's very, very easily spread between cows, but also between other animals that are susceptible to bovine TB. An example would be the badger. So as part of the control programme for TB, it's very, very important that we not only control TB in infected herds, it's why we have a national programme to test cows for TB and remove infected animals, but also to control TB in infected badgers and infected badger sets.
So is there a cure for it?
Unfortunately, there is no cure for TB, so it's important that we control the disease in infected animals, be it infected cows or infected badgers. So therefore, some experts believe that culling infected badgers and infected cows could be a solution. The important thing to remember with regard to controlling bovine TB by culling badgers is that it would only take place, if permitted, under strict conditions, under licence, with full regard to the health and the welfare of the animals. Well, the best thing about being a farm vet is the variety of the job. No 2 days are the same. I could be helping a cow give birth, calving, through to helping a farm develop its farm health plan. Probably the most invigorating part of the day is really understanding the relationship between the farmer and the vet and getting to know the farmer, his aims and his aspirations for his cows, and helping to achieve that by making sure his animals are always healthy and their welfare is cared for.